What's going on? The APEcoach from Six-Pack Gaming, where we bring you the best play-to-earn NFT games and new metaverse projects. Now today we are doing another update on BNB Heroes. This thing has been an absolute money monster this first week of launch. This thing has absolutely skyrocketed. The coin price has gone 155x from the pre-sale price just 6 days ago. Like, where else have you seen a 155x in 6 days? It's absolutely insane. We've got the full town buildings upgraded and stuff. We've got some updates going on in the game, so we're gonna get into those. So make sure you smash the thumbs up button, make sure you subscribe, and you got those notifications on so you never miss these new videos, and let's dive right into it. All right, so let's go over everything that's kind of happened in the last 5 or 6 days since my first video on launch day. Okay, so we have the token price here. You can see it absolutely skyrocketed. It went all the way up to about 280, which if we calculate that, pull this up here, 2.8 divided by 1.8 cents was the pre-sale price, 155.55x from the pre-sale price just 6 days ago. That is absolute insanity. You can see it's pulling back a little bit now, but that's just because, you know, people have made a ton of money and they're just, you know, taking a little bit of profit, which makes sense, right? There's always going to be traders that are just going to trade the price action of the coin, and with gains like this, it's, you know, it'd be kind of insane not to take some sort of profits on that. But that was the first major thing. This thing is just rocketing right now, and for good reason. Like, the rewards are pretty insane. So you can see this is from the past like 5 days of playing. I still have a few more fights to do today, so we'll do those during the video here and show you. But 1.14 BNB. So that is, let's see what that is. 1.14 BNB in less than 6 days now, because I still have more fights to do. That's already 684 US. All right, so over $100 per day, and we can look at, you know, we'll do the rest of the fights, and then we'll figure out how much we actually got with one full account during this almost 1 week period. Now, the next new thing you'll notice here is my town is fully upgraded. Every single building is level 4. So I spent all the BNBH to upgrade every single town building. So this is what it looks like when everything is fully upgraded, and we'll go over kind of how that affects the hero stats and the, you know, the fighting and all that sort of thing. So you can see a lot of these guys. I believe this epic started at around 800 speed, and you can see she's up to 880 now. So that is from you know, upgrading all those buildings and stuff. You add to their stats, like the training grounds, you get an extra, what is it, like 20 and then 30 and then 30 and then 50 or something like that. So you get a lot of extra stats on these. This one might have actually only been at 700 when it started. Now it's at 880, and then you can see this one almost has 1,000 attack, which is insane. And then, you know, we've got like a guy like this who has 870 HP. So I've found he's able to do a lot more fights than most of my other guys, which is wicked. But yeah, so this is, you know, all 5 heroes now, because we've got the inn fully upgraded. That allows you to increase the number of characters you can have up to 5. There's the reserves, which we went over before. I don't have anything in there right now. But that is where you can send extra cards that you don't want to fight with. Just to kind of store them in your bag. The one thing though is when they're in there, they don't regenerate their HP. Okay, so if you're wanting to actually fight with them, they're not going to regenerate HP in your reserves. They have to be in your active heroes inventory to replenish HP. And a lot of people have been asking questions about how the HP regenerates. It's 1 health every 86 seconds. So it's 1,000 health every 24 hours. And so that works out to every 86 seconds, or about every minute and a half, you regain 1 HP. Okay. And it just automatically does that as your guys are sitting in your inventory there. Okay. The first update that they did to things was the boss fight. They had to adjust it and balance things out because it was way out of balance. The rewards based on the risk, like based on the success rate that it used to be, I think 56%. So they reduced it by about 20%. But it was just because oh, sorry, I guess I'm kind of blocking it here, huh? But it says 36.9. It used to be 56.9. But with the success rate that it was and the amount of rewards you were winning, it was like disproportionately greater than any other enemy that you could fight. So it made it pointless to fight any other character. You would just do 2 boss fights a day, or 2.5 essentially, and that would be, you would be getting the best earnings that way. So they balance things out. Now I believe the boss fight is a little bit less than the Red Skull Mage, but you do have the chance, if you get a lucky streak, you could do a boss fight or 2, get a really big reward, and then still do some of your regular enemy fights. So you guys can play around with that and see what works best for you. But in terms of fighting the actual enemies themselves, just a little pro tip, a little insight: if you work the math out, if you multiply the base reward by the success rate and then the number of fights that you can do per day, you're guaranteed at least 5. The Red Skull Mage is actually going to work out to be the best reward to risk ratio compared to any of the other guys. So even though it seems like it's less likely and you might be scared to fight the 60% chance or 55 depending on your character stats, you're still gonna actually end up over the long run averaging out more rewards in less time than if you were to fight this guy that has the 79% success rate but only 0.003 rewards, right? Because it's only like a 19% difference in the success rate, but it's double the rewards, right? So you're only taking on 19% extra risk, but you're getting 100% extra rewards. If you want to maximize your returns, the Red Skull Mage is the guy to go for. All right. Another update that they made today, which I think is a very smart play and something that is again going to add to the longevity and the sustainability of the economy, as well as help continue to boost the price of BNBH up. It's literally just adding more in-game utility to the coin and making people actually use their BNBH. What it is in order to be able to keep fighting, you have to unlock the higher levels for your heroes, and you have to level them up in order to be able to continue fighting. Because if you get to the max, they made it so that if you get to the max experience, but you don't unlock the next level, you're not going to be able to fight again until you unlock the next level. And, some people are like, oh, why are they forcing us to unlock levels? It's not fair. It's another thing that's adding to the rewards of the game, right? You're utilizing the token. People are going to have to buy more of the token. So that's going to drive the value of BNBH up more. And then you're increasing your character stats every time you upgrade your hero anyway. So if you can think of things in a longer term perspective, you would see this as a positive improvement to the game and to the sustainability of the economy. I realize the majority of people want to get some one-day ROI because everyone's just afraid, and there's been games that haven't panned out well. But if you actually believe in the longevity of this and you want something that's going to bring in sustainable rewards over time, this should be seen as a positive thing, that they're adding more in-game utility to the coin, like to the token of the game, right? And another thing that's going to help replenish the rewards pool for BNB. Okay, so you gotta kind of ask yourself, right? Like, would you rather have $500 a day for 2 days and then the game just crashes and it's dead forever, so you get out with $1,000? Or would you rather have something where you're earning $100 a day for the next 6 months, right? Like, that's a no-brainer, right? So just take a more long-term perspective. If you're someone who's upset about them, adding in the thing to level up your heroes, it's actually a smart move and something that's going to increase the value of BNBH. So if you're holding extra coins, you're gonna be earning on the coin itself, and it's just adding more utility to the game, right? So it's adding to the longevity and the sustainability of the economy. So yeah, I think that's a positive change. And another big thing that was changed, I believe on like the second day, was based off of the analytics and the calculations. It was the cost of minting a hero. So I guess it went from 0.2 BNB to recruit a hero up to 0.3 BNB. And that was just them running the numbers. That was going to allow them to continue to increase the rewards pool at a better, more sustainable rate. And because the demand was there, it made sense to increase that. So that's, you know, the Oracle is set to 0.3 BNB in BNBH. So whenever you buy, that's going to be the cost of the hero. But again, with the Oracle in place, it means you're never at a disadvantage, right? You're always only buying for whatever the cost is at the time, right? So whatever 0.3 BNB is right now at $1.98 BNBH, that's how much it's going to cost you to recruit your hero, right? And so it's always going to work out to the same sort of dollar value that way, right? And that's the beauty of the Oracle system. So again, if you can think of this as a long-term thing and, you know, something that you want to continue for a month or 2 months or 10 months down the road, you shouldn't be freaking out about little changes like that to actually help improve the economy of the game. The game is still wildly profitable. You can see, so if you guys are freaking out about little tweaks and things like that, the most likely situation is you've invested way more than you can actually afford, you're overextended, and now you're being irrational and emotional, right, with your investment because you've put in more than you can actually afford. So if that's the case, if that, you know, if what I'm saying offends you or something like that, you need to, you know, look yourself in the mirror. That was just one thing. Another change that they had to make because of the explosive growth in the game, they actually reopened the minting of new hero NFTs. So initially, you know, when you make a plan, you don't have all the variables figured out, right? Like you have a plan in place based on your current expectations and what you think might happen, right? But no one can predict the future. And so the dev team had their plan in place. Originally, it was only going to be 10,000 heroes, 10,000 champions, and 10,000 mercenaries. And then they quickly realized, okay, that probably doesn't offer enough characters for the amount of players that want to play the game, right? Because that would just create this floor price of like tens of thousands of dollars or something if people are wanting to get into this. So on the launch, they increased it to 50,000 heroes, 50,000 champions, and mercenaries, right? And they sold out all 50,000 of those in less than 4 days. And so they were like, oh my God, like, you know, how could we expect this kind of growth? This was already 5 times more than the team was initially expecting, right? So the champions, I don't think are 100% ready yet. So rather than turn away thousands and potentially tens of thousands of new players that want to get into the game, they reopened the minting of heroes for the time being until the champions are finished. And, you know, they're going to be working on getting the champions out and closing the minting of the heroes. But, you know, it's a logical thing to do, right? If the game is pumping like insanity, it's got all this attention and all this hype, but then people can't buy into the game at all, they can't play, then, you know, that all just kind of gets lost, that all just dies out, and then you lose out on all of that positive momentum. So I understand why they would open up the minting of the heroes. And now some people were upset about this because they were like, oh, I bought, you know, my NFTs or my heroes because they were the rarest NFTs. Opening up the minting of heroes is just going to devalue my heroes and they're not going to be worth anything. But the reality of it is, you know, people are, I was talking to some people in Discord about this, and I understand where they're coming from in the world of general NFTs, right? Most NFTs are artwork, or they're a way to flex your status or gain clout amongst your friends and strangers on the internet, right? But those are artwork NFTs. These are game characters, right? So the utility of these, the value comes in their utility in game. So if the game economy tanks, if they don't have new investors keep coming in, and, you know, the value of these goes down to nothing and the game dies, then all of these NFTs, right, all of this artwork that you think has this high value because of the rarity becomes worth nothing at all, because if there's no game to play them with, then they're useless, right? And they're just like, no one's hanging these up on their walls to look at or to impress their friends, right? The value of them comes from the use in game. So you need to understand that, like, if they're doing something positive to sustain the game economy, your heroes are still going to hold value, right? Especially if the earnings improve and they add additional features and stuff, your heroes are still going to be valuable. But if the game economy tanks, then they're worth nothing. So just, think about that, right? I understand both sides of it, but I think it was a smart decision. Oh, there's been a lot of like negativity and like, I hate the term FUD. I think it's so overused and kind of just childish and dumb, because any little, disagreement, people just scream FUD 9 times out of 10, right? It's just become this like default reaction, this default response. But there's been a lot of people that have been, arguing in Telegram and Discord, full-grown adults arguing for hours on end about, the team making changes or going back on their word or, not keeping their promises or something like that. But you have to understand, with any new business startup, you don't know all the variables in advance. If you knew that, then, you could predict every single thing and you wouldn't have to adapt. But what happens when you go live is you get real world live market feedback. And in order for things to continue to be successful and sustainable, the team has to adapt to the demands of the market. And sometimes that means making quick decisions for the betterment of the game and sustaining the rewards in that, rather than just keeping things the same to keep people happy based on their, previous expectations or something like that, right? Like, to not make any changes and not be flexible in your plan that you set before you had any of the information and analytics that you've gathered through live game data would just be stupid. Like, it'd be downright foolish to not make updates and changes to your plans as things change in the market and in the live gameplay, right? So try to look at things as, try to take more of a long-term business sort of perspective if you can, or, just try to rationalize these things, right? Don't be so emotional and reactionary with every little change, because this is 5 days old or 6 days old now. There's going to be changes. There's going to be things that have to be adapted in order to continue to sustain the economy, sustain the game, continue to, keep the game profitable. All of these changes that have been made so far have been positive changes, but there's been a lot of negative reactions and stuff to people who, again, are either way overextended, who are investing way more than they can afford to lose, and they shouldn't be investing at all if that's the case, or people who only are thinking about getting as much money as possible in the next day rather than sustaining a steady income for months to come, right? So just try to take a more broad perspective of everything, and just try to rationalize things a little bit, be a little bit more logical, evaluate the decisions, and try to understand both sides before you react emotionally. Now, with all of that cleared up, let's do some fights, and let's just see what we can end up getting today for our rewards here. So we're gonna give the old Red Skull Mage a run for his money. Again, like I said, mathematically, this guy works out to the best risk to reward ratio, okay? And if you don't know how to calculate that, I will do it for you right here. Oh, look at that, 0.011. We love it. Okay, so we will do it here. So you take 0.006 is the base rewards, right? You multiply that by 0.599. That is the success rate of winning this fight. So this is what you would get on average per fight. Now, you're guaranteed 5 fights per day. So we multiply that by 5, you would end up with 0.018 essentially per day on average per character, based on this guy's stats and everything, right? So 0.018 is the first one. Now let's check what would it be if we fought the most likely success. So again, we do the same thing. We take 0.003 times 0.789. Okay, that gives you 0.002. Multiply that by 5, because again, you're still getting the same amount of fights per day. You'd only get 0.12. So you're actually missing out on 0.006 BNB every single day by doing the Red Skull 1 enemy versus the Red Skull Mage. So I know it might seem like you're more likely winning on this one, and you might feel like you're winning faster with that or something, but you're actually going to be earning slower than someone who's fighting the Red Skull Mage. Hopefully that makes sense for you guys now, and that'll help you guys out to earn a little bit quicker. That's how I've been able to earn now 1.15 in the past like 5 days. And I'm gonna go through all the rest of these fights. Oh, we won both of those. That is amazing. Okay, I'm gonna go through all of these fights, and then we're gonna see how much we end up with, and then we'll be able to see how much we've made in these past like 6 days of fighting, and how much we're making daily on average. All right, I feel like I should have kept recording or something. My luck ran out the second I stopped recording the fights. We lost every single fight after those first 2. So we won those first 2 in a row, and then we lost the fight on all the other characters here. So sometimes that's going to happen. That was another thing that I noticed, that saying that like the success rates were dropped and they weren't accurate and stuff like that. But I think those people just need to understand how probability works. So a very simple exercise that you guys can do for yourself. Go and, hey, there we go. We just got a new subscriber, Kyrie. Shout out. A very simple exercise you can do. Go and get yourself a coin. Okay. You got heads and tails. So that gives you a 50% chance of getting heads, a 50% chance of getting tails. Now, I feel like most people think with their 5 fights that they get in a hero per day, if this is 60%, then they think out of 5 fights, they are guaranteed to win 3 and they should only lose 2. That is not how probabilities work. And to prove it, you can use that coin, right? That's a 50-50 chance. Okay. So with that logic, you would think if you flip the coin 10 times, you would have exactly 5 heads and 5 tails. Go ahead and do that, and I would be willing to bet that the vast majority of you are not going to get 5 heads and 5 tails out of those 10 coin flips. You're going to have streaks where you could have a streak where you get 10 heads in a row without a single tails. And then you could have a streak where you get, 8 tails in a row and then 2 heads. And the way it works is over the long term, that is what is the most probable chance, right? That is what it'll average out at over time. But that doesn't mean however many fights you do, you're guaranteed to win that percent of them, right? So just, if you're having doubts about that, maybe you just have a bad luck streak. It happens, right? We've got good luck streaks and bad luck streaks. Do the coin flip thing, flip a coin 10 times, and you'll see that even though it's a 50% success chance that you'll get heads, you're not going to get 5 heads and 5 tails, or you're most likely not going to. All right, so now let's see. We ended up with 1.164 BNB for the past like 6 days, so that is just about $700. So let's calculate. It's been about 6 days, right? So we'll do 698 divided by 6. Whoops. Divided by 6, not 67. So we're still making $116 per day on average, and I've only had 2 days now of being able to fight with all 5 heroes, right? So that average is actually going to start coming back up now that from here on, I'm only going to be fighting with 5 heroes a day, right? For the first 4 days or whatever, like I only had like 2 heroes and then 3 and then 4, and now finally 5 that I can fight with. So the earnings are still pretty much on par with what we started with, which was 125 per day. And for a few mouse clicks every day, I think that is some amazing returns. I don't know about you, but this thing has been bringing in some incredible returns, and I'm super pumped about all the changes that they've made to help sustain the economy, sustain the rewards pool, because if this thing can last for, you know, months on end, and we're making like 0.2, 0.3 BNB per day on a single account, like, that's incredible. I love that, right? So that is everything on BNB Heroes. Let me know if you guys are in it, if you guys got in, if you guys got some good pulls or anything. I know one guy on the live stream last night said his very first card he got in yesterday was a legendary. That is some insane luck there. But let me know how it's going for you guys, if you guys are in it, how the earnings and everything are going for you, if you guys were fighting any different enemies, if you're going to try out the Red Skull Mage now, see how that affects your earnings. And before we close everything out, this last video has absolutely blown up, and one of the goals in here was to get over 50 likes and 50 comments. We were at 75 and 70, and the reward for that was we were going to be doing another free NFT giveaway. All right, so because we hit our goal with that, we are going to be doing a giveaway here. For today's giveaway, big shout out to the guys over at Fusion Monsters. We are going to be giving away one of these FUSEMON NFTs. So if you're a fan of Pokemon, you are going to absolutely love this game. This is a new play to earn NFT game that is still in early development, but they've got a wicked Discord community you can join in. They've got all of these awesome NFTs that are fusions of multiple Pokemon. You can see this is a Magikarp and a Hitmonlee. You've got a, what is this, like a Wobbuffet and a Meowth. So this game is pretty dope. So for today's giveaway, we are going to be giving away one of these fuse balls, and you can see they're all different elements, and these will give you a random one of these fusion monsters. Okay, and you can see these are valued at 0.05 ETH right now, which is, you know, somewhere around like $220 to $250 US. Okay, so all you have to do to be able to get one of these, you gotta like this video, you gotta be subscribed to the channel, and then drop a comment down below with your favorite Pokemon. Okay, whatever your favorite Pokemon character is, all you gotta do, comment down below with that. Make sure you like the video and you're subscribed, and then once you've done that, you are going to click the link down in the description below. You are going to go to the Six Pack Gaming Discord here. You're gonna go all the way down here to YouTube giveaways, and then I need you to enter your YouTube username and your wallet address. Okay, so that way when we pick the winners from the comments on the YouTube video, I'll be able to find you and your wallet address, and then we can get everything sent to you right away. All right, so if you guys want to win that NFT worth, you know, almost $250 US, all you gotta do, like the video, make sure you subscribe, and drop a comment down below with your favorite Pokemon. So that is BNB Heroes. Those are the new updates since launch day. There's been a lot happening. There's been a lot of little tweaks and changes and stuff, but it's all for the betterment of the economy and the game. I still think this has a ton of growth to go. It's already gone 155x, but with the market cap that it's at, it's only, you know, 194 mil. I could see this going to $500 million. Like, it's definitely possible. Not financial advice. You know, make sure you do your own research. You can check out their Git book, you know, find out more about the game and see if it's something that you want to get into. But again, take responsibility for that. But I know for me personally, this is, you know, one of the best ones so far, and the earnings already have been incredible this first week. So I'm super excited for everything to come. They're still developing the story here. So this is chapter 1. They already have 8 chapters that are like done, and they're going to be kind of gradually releasing those. They announced the arena fight mode they're going to be adding in soon. They're going to be introducing a PvP mode. There's going to be new bosses coming soon. That are going to have like a level restriction or something based on your character, but they're going to have better rewards based on the level. So a lot of really cool things to continue earning with this, continue adding new features and things like that. So I'm super excited about that, and I'm loving the gains that we're making on this one so far. One additional thing, apparently for everyone that has upgraded all of the buildings in their town to level 4, we are going to be getting sometime like next week, we're going to be getting some sort of special NFT for having our town fully upgraded. So I don't know what exactly that's going to be. I don't know if it's going to be some extra like building that adds additional stats to your characters. I don't know if it's going to be some sort of rare hero or some attachment or something. Like, I have no idea, but once we get that, I will do a video on it. I'll update you guys on it, and I'll keep you guys as informed as possible with this. All right. So if you guys like this one, be sure to smash that thumbs up button. Make sure you drop that comment down below with your favorite Pokemon to enter into that FUSEMON giveaway. Make sure you're subscribed and you've got those notifications on so you never miss these new videos on the best play to earn NFT games and new metaverse projects. We still have a ton of new stuff coming up, and we're going to be keeping you informed and updated on all these games we're currently in as well. So you definitely want to have those notifications on. The last thing before we sign off here is going to be the new subscriber shoutouts. So if you're, an old subscriber and you don't want to listen through this, I appreciate you. I will see you guys in the next video. For everyone else though, there's a lot to get through here, so I'm gonna try my best to get through them as quickly as possible. But the channel has just been absolutely skyrocketing. We're actually over 3,000 subs now, and just a month ago we had only hit 2,000. So we've gained like over 1,000 new subs in the last month, and it's been just ridiculous. So thank you guys so much for all the support. It is just blowing me away. Okay, this might take a while. Tate, Rennie, Ryan, Eduardo, Chandu, West, Genvis, Crypto, Vincent, Batshir, Nicholas, Badair, Stephen, Rizé, Carlos, Daniel, Law, Cam Jason, sorry I can't pronounce this one, Panaki, Anderson, Nicholas, John, Leong, Options, El Greco, Eden, Crafts and Laughs, that's a nice name, Peniel, Juan Pablo, Luhabi, Diogo, Nassim, Sharif, trading on Betfair, Edgar, Matthias, Supanut, Master, Papoom, 47AG, Keshav, Honey, Richard, Tuna, Kelly, Marky, Nifat, Sirovich, Limited, Mohammed, David, Bond, Bosun, Raphael, Mike, Ronak, Alpha, Ali, Bader, Mohammed, Ralph, Alain, Bien, Jay, Patty, Patisse, Surya, Capuana, Kalori, sorry, I don't know how to pronounce this one, Ronnie, Hong Kong, Adrian, Junkie, FCO, Miguel, Islam, 4, Bernard, Hung, Tooth, Ayub, Big Daddy, Ilias, Trex, and Kyrie. Thank you guys so much. Welcome to Six Pack Gaming. I appreciate all the support. The growth on the channel has just been blowing me away. Thank you guys for all the support, and let's keep going, keep growing, keep building that Six Pack Gaming Nation. All right, now until next time, train hard, game hard, and we will see you in the next one. Peace out, everyone.